My husband had a three-way with my best friend and his girl best friend. So I got revenge. A few weeks ago, my brother had surgery and I wanted to be there for him. I ended up flying out and staying with him for 2 weeks. I always knew my best friend had a thing for my husband. She's admitted it multiple times, but I would just laugh it off because surely my married best friend won't F my husband, right? Well, I didn't even catch them. My husband's girl best friend is just that stupid that she casually admitted it to me as I was cleaning the kitchen when I got back. I thought she was kidding. But she wasn't. I asked my best friend if this was true over a phone call and she at first denied it, then broke down sobbing and effing admitted to it. I was so angry I threw all of my husband's stuff into a big suitcase and tossed it on the front lawn. I locked the doors and piled a bunch of stuff in front of it like the couch, an end table, etc. so the dumb F couldn't get in. Of course when he got home from work and couldn't get in, he started panicking. He banged on the door and shouted for me to let him in. I just stayed upstairs and poured water onto his head from the window. Now what? He left and from what I know, stayed the night at his girl best friend's crappy apartment. They probably F2 all while he was crying over me. After a few weeks of him blowing up my phone and pleading with me, I finally let him come home and we talked. He was sobbing and apologizing to me. Said he was an intimacy addict and that he needed help. I told him I want him to go to therapy as well as us going to couples counseling. He agreed to it without any fight. He slept on the couch while I slept in our bedroom. My best friend hadn't even made any moves to contact me or apologize for being the homewrecker she is. My husband ended up having some sort of work dinner party a week or so later that he needed to attend and invited me. This was the first time he's ever invited me to anything like this. At the dinner, his boss was chatting with me. He said he was newly divorced and I asked him how that was, made sure to ask loud enough for my husband to hear me. We ended up chatting all night and my husband ended up scurrying off from the dinner table and told me he was gonna go home and told me to get an Uber home, clearly ticked off at me. Needless to say, his boss was shocked at how he treated me and I couldn't help but play up the sad lonely wife bit. It ultimately ended up in us going back to his house and hooking up. When I woke up that morning I did end up Ubering home. The boss's PP was small but he knew how to work that thing. Since then, his boss has sent flowers to our home. Called me a few times. And my husband is completely aware of this and now the regret is starting to sink in. The guilt and worry has started to eat away at me. The revenge felt nice but now it's clear it's eating at the both of us. I'm gonna find a lawyer and start the process soon.